Okay, fine. Now we'll continue with the excitations of the probes. How to make a particular probe to radiate into a particular mode of propagation. So the mode of propagation of the wave, it can be determined by locating the probe in what way it is being located. So for that, I'm going to draw in a diagram where in the case of TE case, how it is being aligned, for TM case, how it is being aligned. If you take in a rectangular waveguide, and I'm just drawing in a diagram where if you take this is in a diagram where I'm drawing only the terminating part. If you take this terminating part here, so this is the end, terminating end. I'm going to consider. So this is the terminating end. I'll be drawing it here. You can see that this is the terminating end. Whatever I'm drawing, this is the terminating end. We can say that. Okay. Now, how the probe it is being placed? Okay. As I've told that the probe to be inserted into the waveguide at the top or bottom in order to excite into a respective mode. So I'm going to tell how it is going to excite a TE10 mode, how it is going to propagate into a TE10 mode. So for that, it is being inserted. We can say that it is being inserted into the bottom or into the waveguide, or it is being taken as a coaxial cable. So a coaxial cable it is being taken. So this is nothing but coaxial cable. It is being taken. When the coaxial cable is being inserted at the bottom side, according to the alignment where it provides the maximum attenuation, and where this part it is being inserted into it, and with this we can easily say that it is being inserting here, and it is being given like this. Okay, it is being inserted, and this is nothing but the inner conductor. So all this is the outer conductor here, and this will be acting which is being inserted into it by maintaining a distance of lambda by 4, as I said. So the inner conductor it will be acting as a antenna probe. So this will be acting as antenna probe. So this is how we can give the mode of propagation, where we can say that it has been operating in TE10 mode. So this is the diagram. This is how it has been aligned. Now, if you want to change it for TE20, then for that, the T0 mode, 20 mode, the waveguide which is being taken for the case of the TE20 mode of propagation. Now, it is also a terminating part. As I've said, this is the terminating end. We need to place the probe at the terminating end. Now, it is to be placed. Now, the probe, it is the coaxial cable. It is being placed in such a way that, so it is being taken as a coaxial cable. And here, the alignment is being somewhat different. And the alignment, it is being taken as, if you have any doubt, please let me know, and can you able to understand it properly? That's the more important for me. So this is the insertion of the probe. This is nothing but coaxial cable. This is the coaxial cable, and here it is being maintained at a distance of lambda by 2. This is nothing but lambda by 2, but this is the lambda by 4. And that's what it is being taken, where it is being considered as inner conductor here, and it is being taken. So here, so we can analyze this. These two are inserted, the outer conductors also inserted into this, and wherever it is being taken at lambda by 4, there are two cables which is being taken, and these probes which are inserted will be acting as the probes. These two are considered to be the probes, then we can say that it will act as where the propagation of the mode will be TE20 mode. So this is how it will be working out. So we can make this TE10, TE20 in the same form. And now suppose if you want in the case of TM, let us proceed how it is been taking in the case of TM. A small modification to these two diagrams can be make it to work as a for TM mode. Now this is all for TE modes. Now we'll see for TM. Now for TM, how it is going to be the alignment. So for TM mode, a small alignment which is been taken. It is been taken as the same, and it is been the rectangular terminating part of this rectangular waveguide. Okay, and it is been taken the inner side, how it will be, and this is the terminating part, as I said. So this is the terminating part. Now here the probe is being aligned in such a way that it is being from this particular view, the smaller dimension. So wherever this particular part we have, so from this it is being inserted. So this is a coaxial cable. It is the coaxial cable where it is being inserted the inner conductor. It is being of a straight line here. So this is acting as a probe or antenna probe. Okay, so this is all about the antenna probe. Then we can say that this is the terminating end or short circuited end. Short circuited end, which is being placed at a distance of lambda by 4. Accordingly, it will excite as TM11 mode, which is the dominant mode, because TM10 it is not possible in the case of TM. So this is how the TM11 mode will be propagating. And we too have another mode. If you want some TM21, then we need to take two cables. That's the difference we have. If I take a rectangular waveguide, in order to excite in the TM21 mode, where it is being taken here, and the terminating part it is being taken. So this is a terminating part or short circuited part. At this particular instant, by maintaining a distance of lambda by 4, lambda by 2, whatever we have discussed here, the same I'm going to discuss here. So it is being taken the two ends, but it is being insertion, it is being taken like this. So this is nothing but the coaxial cable, which is maintaining a distance of lambda by 2. This is coaxial cable. And here the insertion, it is being taken. So at this particular instant, these will be acting as probes. These two are antenna probes. So then we can say that it is being radiating TM21 mode. So this is how the mode of propagations it is being taking place in the case of rectangular waveguides, by inserting the probe internally onto the top or bottom of this rectangular waveguide. So this is all about the nature of excitation of the poles. And now a small disadvantage here. If there is any changes which is being made, if the changes in the alignment we have, if we move to and fro here, then there is a possibility of change in mode. The change in mode can be resulted. So we have to avoid this change in mode. In order to avoid this change in mode, we need to consider that we have to take the rectangular waveguide to operate at a frequency that is nothing but the cutoff frequency. We need to choose a rectangular waveguide in such a way that it should make use of, it should be set to a cutoff frequency. So accordingly, we need to choose. So this is how we can avoid the shift of mode from one to other. So this is the details regarding the microwave components. In the next class, we'll see what are the other microwave components we have, so which have been initially explained. Okay. So by this, I'm winding up the class. Okay, fine, Andy. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Else I will be winding up the class, Andy. You direct the inbuilt speaker. I'm winding up the class. Please, CR, send the attendance, Andy. Thank you very much. I'll be continuing in the afternoon session from 2 to 3. I'll be taking, Andy, not 1 to 2 as per timetable. A small modification from 2 to 3. I'll be taking the class. Okay. Thank you then.